Well, look who it is. It's Shally, guys! Hey!
Hello, can everybody hear me and see me just fine? Hi.
Ta-da. Welcome, Shally.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you for showing up. Everybody's been hype, like, for the past week or whatever. Whenever I started initially talking to, oh my God. Everybody's been so excited. I've been excited
No
to talk
way.
to you, and I can't remember. Somebody was actually talking to me and recommended me ask you for an interview. So it was,
Really?
yeah, it was somebody else. They were like,
Who is the culprit?
I
Who
can't
sent me to the
remember.
wolves?
I
Why
can't.
did you do this to me?
Yep. Now you're on fucking serious interviews, and it's a tough
Yep,
life, right?
yep.
The lighting is a lot better now. That looks great.
Yes, it's really weird because like when I'm playing, I have to play from my couch because the TV is actually this behind me.
Yeah.
I just have it set up so that the natural light is coming in. But it's a really weird setup because every time that I play or we watch TV, we have to like shut down the blinds behind us because the glare is just too much.
Yeah.
So since this is just a camera, I can actually turn around and like approach you from this angle. But every other time, like when I'm streaming and stuff, my lighting is just like horrible. It's horrible.
I see something running around in the background.
That would be my son. Where did you go, baby? He
Let's
might come
see.
over.
I want to see. I got a derpy doge of my own.
Yeah, derpy dodges are the best.
Derpy doge in chat, boys.
Nope.
So I here's my question for you,
Yeah.
Shally. Shilly shally dilly dally. Shilly shally dilly dally. What does that mean to you?
To me, it just reminds me of Resh. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Resh, as in the streamer Resh. He's a team member of Avity, and every time that he sees me on stream, he's always calling me that. He's like Shilly Shally, blah blah blah. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I've come to associate it with. I've heard it before, and it's just like a silly saying, like she sells seashells down by the seashore or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but now every time I hear it, I always associate it with him because he always does that when he talks to me. So.
Where did you get your name? Like Shalymonster. Like how did?
Oh well, actually, my name is Shali is short for my actual name. So
Okay.
my name is Jai Shali, but obviously that's not the most common name in the
No.
world, and a lot of people had trouble pronouncing it. And so my family members call me Jaisha, which is something that makes more sense because usually you take a nickname from the first half of the name. So if it's Daniel, it's Dan. If it's Michael, it's Mike.
Right.
So if it's Jaisha Lee, then it should be Jaisha. But when I was in middle school, I met this girl named Ashley. I was brand new to the school, and she was just like, "Can I just call you Shali? Because that's just way too difficult for me." And I was like, "Nobody calls me that. Like literally nobody in the world calls me that." And I kind of gave up trying to make people learn my name. So I was just like, "Yeah, sure, just call me whatever you want."
Go
But
ahead.
I've had everything. People call me Yoshi, Y, just Y.
Just why?
Yeah, for the first letter of my name. Like I've had all kinds of nicknames growing up just because people can't get my name straight. But Shali somehow stuck, and it's kind of like this other side of me. So like I can tell who is in like what kind of relationship I have with that person by what they call me.
Right.
So if they call me Jaisha, they're like the closest people to me, like my family.
Mm-hmm.
If they call me Shali, then they're people like from the outside, so like friends or like people who know me from somewhere else, like work or something like that.
Yeah, I have a
And
few friends like that.
yeah, so that's the Shali part, and then the monster part. That's thanks to my friend Taisuke. I'm really weird, and I like making like weird faces and doing stupid stuff all the time, just because I like making people smile. So he was just like, "You're a monster. You're a Shalymonster," and everybody agreed. They were like, "Yeah, you are the Shalymonster." So that 2 plus 2 equals, well, not 2 plus 2, 1 plus 1 equals the two. I can't do math.
Confirmed.
Oh, I just got gifted a subscription by 21 to your channel. Holla! Thanks,
Hey,
21, for that
hey,
sub.
yeah,
That's what it is, man. Thank you.
all the support.
And hello to everybody on chat, by the way.
Yeah, everybody, fucking Shally, guys. Shally. fucking serious.
What up? What up? What up?
So that dog that you have,
Yeah,
how old is it?
he's going to be 7 years old this year.
7 years old.
Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Oh, dude, come here, baby. Come here, baby.
I
Let
want
me
to
see
see
if
that
I can
puppy. Coax him.
let me see if I can turn the camera. It's just the setup is really weird. Dude, can you come here, baby? Can you guys see him?
Oh no.
No.
Oh no.
Wait.
Oh no.
Let's see. Baby,
Look at
you guys
that
see him?
fucking Doge.
I'm trying to see if I can spot him on the camera, but
No, we can see him. I'm
yeah,
in the
there
way.
you go. The lighting gets a little bit weird, but he's when I'm streaming, he loves to just like invade my space, and people see him a lot during my streams. But otherwise, he's just out doing his own thing. He's like, I can't be bothered to interact with him right now. So.
Those types of dogs, I heard they're very like independent and kind of like they do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, Shibas are like cats.
Really?
Actually, it's very weird. Like he spends a lot of his time grooming himself.
Mhm.
Like he'll lick his paws like all day long if you let him. We have a ledge on our window, and he will climb on that ledge and just like lie down there and just look at the trains go by outside. Like that's a cat thing to do as far as I am aware.
Yeah.
But I don't know, that's just what he does, and he's very independent. He's not the affectionate type at all. When you want it's on his terms. Like when he wants loving, he comes to you. And then what he does is that he puts all of his weight on your body, kind of like this, like a plop.
Yeah.
To let you know that he's here. And then so you're like, oh, so you're feeling lonely. Let me give you, some. Let me pet you. And then you try to pet him, and then he's like, if you pet me, I swear to God, I'll kill you. So, what do you want from me?
And you can see from the picture
Yeah.
that he's
Yep.
a murderer.
Yes, he's straight up savage, like mother like son, I guess. But that is literally like our Saturday mornings. It's just that, like me trying to connect with him and give him affection, and he's like, "I'll kill you."
He's like, bitch, you better feed me. I'm gonna fucking murder you. Like, where's my food?
He only cares about about food and about going outside and getting his walk on. He loves going outside and getting his exercise. And any stranger that he meets, he goes like crazy over. Like he just loves strangers. So, if our house were to be robbed one day or something, like we're fucked. Like he would not try to protect us at all. He'll be like, welcome, be my friend. That's
Meanwhile, he's like, fuck you. I don't want attention.
Exactly. Meanwhile, fuck my own mother, because I don't even want to like have anything to do with her. It doesn't make any sense, to be honest. But I'll take it. I'm not gonna complain. He still makes me really happy, and he's probably 50% of the reason why I've been able to make it this far with the stress that I have to live with on a daily basis. So, I just let him be himself.
So that's your son.
Yeah, he's my son. And anybody who tells me any different, recently I saw this Facebook post, because it was Mother's Day, right?
Yeah.
And an old schoolmate of mine was like, this day is not about you for moms. Like, this is for mothers who have like real children. And I was like, hold up.
Wait a second.
I am extremely offended, and now I will spam your media, social media page with lots of insults because you hurt my feelings.
There we go.
Of course, I didn't do that. I said it jokingly. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so offended." But to me, he's like my kid. Like if not, it's at least very serious practice for whenever I do have a child in the future, which it's not going to be anytime soon. But.
Gotcha. So speaking of your son, you are married, correct?
Correct. Yes. There it is.
Hey, there you go.
Hey. I don't know exactly how long I've been doing the FFBE videos. I guess it's like 2 years now. But I've been doing the Brave Frontier ones for a longer time, and definitely when I started doing the Brave Frontier ones, my husband and I were dating, and we weren't married yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess, not having a ring on or whatever, people just made their own assumptions, and they're just like, so she's not married. But eventually, at some point, like in the middle, I did get married, and I started wearing my ring. And I think throughout the whole course of the FFB videos, I have been wearing my ring. But recently, I've been seeing comments like, "Is Shelly wearing a wedding ring? Did she get married?" It's like it's been there the whole time. Like I mean, if you didn't want to see it because you were trying, or like you couldn't see it, then I'm sorry, but I'm not trying to be like, hey, welcome to the video, guys. How is everybody doing? We got really exciting content, like, you know. But it's not like I keep it a secret. The only thing that I keep a secret is my husband's face because he asked me to. He's like, I don't want any part of like these shenanigans.
Yeah.
Which is why the picture that I shared with you is from us, like from the back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't want like people I don't know my face. That's not my gig. So.
And that's understandable. I mean, I know some people who are literally, you know, so anti everything that they don't have social media at all, you know. So
yeah. He has social media, but every social media that he has no profile pics.
Gotcha.
And if he has like pictures of himself, it's because like I tagged him or somebody else tagged him. Like he's just like not about that life.
And he's like, get rid of that fucking tag, I swear to God.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, sometimes he gets really angry if it's like a picture that I took of him in like pajamas. Because I mean, most of the time we're just lounging with like my dog, and I see a cute moment and I want to capture it, and then I'm just like, oh, this is so adorable, and then I like put it up, and he's like, why the fuck would you put me up in pajamas in front of everyone? That's not cool, man. And I'm just like, oh, I thought it was just like a tender moment. I didn't mean to like make you upset.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I can see that. I don't like pictures a lot myself. But typically those, I don't mind social media, but where did you meet your husband?
Okay, so this is a real story. we met online.
Okay.
Actually, when I came to Japan, I tried to meet people, and if you come to Japan, for example, like as an exchange student, then you're like in that environment where you know you meet a lot of people your age because you're going to school. You know, it's easier for things to happen. But when I had come to Japan, I had just graduated from university, and I had come to just like look for work. Like I wanted to work and stay here. And so my only ways of really like meeting people were to like go to clubs or bars and just see like, you know, who's available, like who is the possible candidate.
Right.
And I tried that a couple times, and it was a huge failure. Like I was just like, I cannot continue down this path because this is just, it's pointless. It's pointless. And so my friend Jason, one of my best friends, who is also in Japan, he had kind of like the same bad luck streak, and he was like, you know what, like I found that it's just best to like look for people like online. It's just easier access, you know, and you can see people's profiles and you can see whether you match or not, like from the get-go, without having to waste your time with small talk and all that. And I was just like, okay, fine. And I started doing like the online dating like site thing as a joke. Like to me, I was just like, yeah, right, I'm gonna find somebody here, hilarious. Because you know it has that stigma still.
Right.
Just recently, it has become a little bit more like acceptable that this is actually a thing. So I did it, and I was like looking through some profiles, and I saw his picture, and the first thing I thought was like, why is this person on a dating site? Like that is so sketch. Like why is somebody who's like good looking and seems to have like his life together is not like, why can't you go out in the world and get like a person just like the normal way? That doesn't, it's very suspect. It's very shady. I don't know. But then I thought to myself, you know, I'm in the same situation though. Like I think I'm okay looking. I have my life somewhat like together, and I'm stuck in the same situation where I can't meet people. So why not give it a chance? I guess it is not that impossible after all. And I did. I like reached out to him, and then he immediately reached out to me, and then after that we talked like every single day through like emails and stuff like that. And then like 2 months afterwards, we actually like met face to face for the very first time. Right. Like until then, we hadn't done any video chat. We hadn't heard each other's voices, so everything was like super like brand new.
Oh man.
And yeah, I was my first concern was like, does this picture actually match the person that I'm gonna meet, right? Because if not, it's gonna be a little bit of a game changer for me. And number two, is he a serial killer after my skin?
There you
So
go.
yeah. So I actually phoned my friend Megan, um, and I told her, look, if I don't contact you in 15 minutes, uh, call the police because something has happened. Like I was that cautious. I was like, these people cannot be trusted. I don't know what the hell I'm getting myself into. Um, but 15 minutes passed, everything seemed fine. So I messaged her and I was like, I think I'm gonna be okay. So don't worry about me. And then the rest is history. Yeah, this year is our sixth year together. So we dated for 3 years, and now we've been married for almost 3 years.
Wow.
That's
You
the
guys have been
story,
together
and
for
it's a
a
true
while.
story, guys.
Yeah, especially when you're talking, that long ago,
Yeah,
dating was not like it was if you met online, it was like, shh, say we met at a
yeah,
bar or say we met
yeah,
at a library or whatever,
yeah. And
depending on your
side note,
friends.
my husband made me do that when we told that. I wanted to just be like upfront about it because I wanted to let people know that this is actually a viable option. Like I myself like dismissed it as something that was like stupid at the very beginning, and I was just like, this is never gonna work. I don't know why I'm wasting my time on this. And it ended up in me finding like the person that is the best for me,
Yeah.
And so if it was gonna help other people to do the same, that I want to tell the truth and tell them, look, online dating is not that crazy a thing. Like seriously, give it a chance.
So you
Um,
recommend people that are looking for love to go and reach out to people online?
yeah, I mean, it's definitely an option. Don't think that just because it's online. Yes, there are many shady characters. I saw plenty. I think everybody sees plenty, but it's the same thing when you go out to like try to find somebody in real life. Like you're gonna meet like your fair share of like shady people until you find somebody that you can like agree with. You know what I mean? So
Right.
is it really that different? If anything, online dating gives you more information right away about that person, unless the information they're providing is all lies. Then it's it's complicated uh, in that aspect. But yeah, I think it's definitely something that people should at least consider if they are seeing themselves having trouble meeting new people. Especially if you're the shy kind, you might be more comfortable, behind the screen.
Right.
It's a start, and you might grow more outgoing than what you are now, and eventually be able to transfer that into your like quote unquote, real life. So yeah.
Was he the first date that you went on?
Online,
Yeah.
the first person I met in person, yeah, yeah. I mean, the person only. I didn't meet anyone after I found him. I was pretty dead set on this relationship lasting because I knew it was something special. So yeah, he's the only one that I actually met like face to face.
That's pretty cool. You hit a home run, so to say.
Yeah, it was very lucky, and I cannot take that for granted. So I try to spoil him with nice things when I can.
What did you get for his birthday? This past birthday?
What did I get him? Give me a sec, because it was a while back. Oh, we were actually in Okinawa for a friend's wedding,
Hmm.
one of his best friend's wedding, and he had to work on that Saturday that we went to Okinawa. So he came. We were all staying at an Airbnb, and he came later on. And so while he was on his way to the Airbnb, um, we set up the whole Airbnb place to be like a surprise birthday party.
Yeah.
And so we set everything up, and then what I did, actually, I can show you because it's right next to me.
Oh,
But
what? Really? Okay, that's perfect.
yeah, I bought him a retro freak. I don't know if you guys know what a retro freak is, but I won't take out the retro freak itself, but I can show you the games that I got him. So a retro freak is basically a console that allows you to play all the old games. So like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, like it has all of the ports. Yeah, I think if I take it out, I have to like unhook all the cables, and I'm not about to do all that. But
Yeah,
you can
don't
play
do that.
like all the old nostalgic games on it, and not only that, but if you have like a micro SD, you can upload emulators in there, and then put it in the
Mm.
retrofit, and then you can play those emulators from the retrofit. Um, hold on, give me a second. Oh, I need the light, honey. I'm sorry. He's trying to play games, but the glare is too much on the TV, and so he's like, "Can I put down the blinds?" I was like, "I
But
need to look fabulous, babe. I'm sorry." Um, and so I got him the Retro Freak, and then I actually went to like Akihabara and I got him some cartridges because yes, you can download emulators and stuff, but it's more fun to have like the actual things.
yeah.
So I got him, this is the cartridges look a little bit different in Japan.
Oh.
So this shape right here, this is the Nintendo, the first Nintendo. You can see is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles there.
Yeah, there we go.
One of,
TMNT.
yeah, one of the hardest games ever because why? Sorry if the glare is too much and I can't like show you what it is, but here's Dragon Quest IV, also for Nintendo. I'll keep switching it just so you guys can see. Um, this is for Super Nintendo, Dragon Ball Z.
Oh shit. What do you think?
Let's
What do you
see.
think of the new game that just released? Legends, I think it's called.
For Dragon Ball?
Yeah.
Or no. Oh, I haven't played it actually. I don't own many of the Dragon Ball Z games. I only play them when I'm like at a friend's house or I'm testing them out at like a gaming convention.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what to tell you. The fighting ones are pretty fun. I just don't feel like I need to own them, so I never see them. But the prize one that I was able to find was the first Mega Man
Oh
ever.
shit.
Yeah, for Nintendo. So this one is actually worth some coins because this is the first Mega Man ever released. So
Damn.
yeah, I tried to get him some nice stuff, man.
That's yeah, you weren't kidding. That is some spoilage right there.
Yeah, we're all gamers in this house. We all game together and we appreciate games together. So I was hoping he would appreciate that, and he did. But now he's back to the PS4 on the Dragon Quest 11. So I don't know when he'll give the Retro Freak any love.
Well, Kuma just donated 5, and half of that's going straight to you, and he said you look fabulous.
Oh well, thank you, Kuma.
Hey,
Thank
Kuma.
you, man.
There we
or
go.
or lady. I don't want to discriminate. Thank you, Kuma. Very much appreciated.
So I have an interesting question for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just say we lived in a different world, and
Mm-hmm.
there was just some very rude person, and his name was like Thanos or something, and
Okay.
let's just say he had some weird abilities, and all of a sudden he snapped his fingers, and then Gumi was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Where would you work? Of course, Gumi's gone outside of you.
Uh-huh.
Where would you work?
My most logical, if we're thinking about it logically and like as far as reasoning goes, then my next step would be to ask Square Enix for a job. Just logically speaking, like if you go through it in like a common sense type of deal,
Mhm.
like if you were to ask me what would you do in like your ideal situation, then I don't know, I'd become, I don't know, a worldwide singer, or hit streamer, or I don't know, professional video game player. There's so many things that are like dream like to me that I would have loved to have done one way or another. But if we're talking more like you gotta pay bills tomorrow, then yeah, if Square Enix is still standing, I'll be like, yo, remember me? You see me sometimes. What's up?
Speaking of singing, I just sent you a
Mm-hmm.
message on Discord or on Twitter. Replace boyfriend with husband because that's more appropriate. But I want you to do karaoke for us, Shally.
Oh God, you're gonna do me like that? What?
You're about to have the spotlight, and it'll be great. I'm sure you'll do
Oh my
wonderful.
God. I don't know that I don't know the tune of this song though. I mean, I know it's famous and I know it's by Katy Perry, but I've only listened to it like once or twice, to be honest with you.
It'll have your own
So
spin on it.
I can
It'll
still attempt it, but I don't.
yes, yes. Go, Shelly, go. Let's do
Oh
it.
god.
Let's hear it.
Oh god. This is gonna be bad. Hold on. I wonder if the sound's gonna be through.
Worst
Okay.
case scenario, you could play it on your phone.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's already going, and I don't even know how it goes.
Yeah, because we can't hear it currently.
Oh, I seriously don't know how this goes, dude. I'm so sorry. Maybe I can think of a karaoke song for myself. Because I honestly, I maybe the chorus is the only thing that I know how to do. I'm really sorry, you guys. This is very disappointing.
All right,
Yeah,
Shelly, I know you don't know I Kissed a Girl very well. Do you have a different song that you
yeah.
would like to go with?
Let me think, because um, off the top of my head, like whenever I do go to karaoke, because you guys may or may not know that in Japan, karaoke is a really big thing. Like people, you don't just do it while you're drunk at a bar in front of everybody. Like Japan has like so many places where you do karaoke that you can do it privately in your own room. Sometimes the rooms even have a stage where you can like get up on and like sing like you're an actual like rock star or something. Um, so I do have my karaoke songs, but they're always like songs that I want to like when I want to show off, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because it's the only time that I ever get to sing. So if I don't know if I should do that or just like something more
I know everybody wants to hear you
fun.
sing.
Why has it come to this, man? Why has it come to this?
Was like
Let
show
me see.
off.
Let me see if I can find the Leanne Rhymes one.
There we go.
You guys remember Leanne Rhymes? That's so long ago. That's like what? Like middle school?
Yeah, that's 90s.
Yeah. Okay. So I found it. Should I send this link to you then, or?
I think it would be best if you played it on your phone or something, so then it doesn't because there's going to be a delay probably.
Okay. All right. I mean, or can I just do it without the music, just like a cappella or something?
Yeah, that works.
Is that all right? Okay. My unprepared voice. Here he goes. Okay. I'm so nervous. I always get really nervous when I sing, even though like not really that big. All right. Let's see. How do I get through a night without you? If I had to live without you, what kind of life would that be? Oh, I need you in my arms, to you. Oh, you're my world, my heart, my soul. If you ever leave, when you take everything good in my life.
Oh, Shelly.
Yes.
It wasn't picking up all your high notes. It couldn't do it. But your voice is
You can't
beautiful.
take me like that. You can't take me like that. That's what's up.
Yeah,
You can't.
it literally can't take it, but your voice is beautiful. You have
Oh
a
well,
really
thank you,
nice voice.
thank you.
And it's a lot better than the happy birthday that I asked you to sing the other day.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I'm sorry we can't get the full experience. So it probably sounded like terrible, but
You know, it was cutting in
yeah,
and out, but we could easily tell that you had a very nice voice. Like it was
thank
very
you,
evident. There was no like, oh, I don't know, maybe no, it was very good.
thank you, thank
Two
you.
thumbs up.
I'm glad I didn't lie to you guys. I would have been. Can you imagine how embarrassing would that be? It was just like, oh my god, I'm like a world class singer. Like I've been called the bird song of my generation, and then I go in there and I just like sound like a cat is getting killed or something.
Brutal.
Yeah, I need a better mic, you guys. Someday, maybe if I take streaming more seriously, I'll actually like pitch in to
There you
get
go.
like some actual equipment.
Yeah, the amount of times that I scream on stream, I need to
Hmm.
have a decent microphone. Otherwise, I think everybody would kill me.
But your microphone is very nice because I can hear it like it's so sharp and crisp. Mine is just like attached to this headset. Like that's just, and it's the only reason why I got this headset in the first place because I just wanted something where it could cancel noise, but at the same time I could use the talk. So I didn't even really try.
Kumo donated another $1, and he says "rockstar voice."
Oh, why, thank you. Man, Kuma is too generous. I appreciate that.
And I've gotten
Yeah.
a couple asks right now.
Yeah.
If you could speak some Japanese for us.
Oh, sure. I mean, but I don't know what you would like me to say.
I'd like you to ask about my life and my career and if I'm single.
Okay. Well, what should I ask you first? Let's start with a single one. I think that one would be a useful one for everybody to learn. クリブさんは今独身ですか?
No.
No. Okay. That was done quickly. Yeah. So the keyword here for single would be 独身. 独身 means single. So, and anytime that you ask a question in Japanese, you can pretty much just like add ですか at the very end, which means like, are you? So if you say 独身ですか, it automatically means, are you single? So there's some learning for you, some edumacations.
I like edumacation. That is very insightful.
Yep. Let's see. 仕事として何していますか? So what do you do for your work? Like, what is your career?
We're streaming.
Yes.
Right now, boys.
Indeed, we are. It's just like I try so hard to like word these long questions for you, and you're like, no. Yes.
We're fucking serious, Shally. That's just how it is.
I'll take it. Simple is always best. Well, in most occasions it is. Just get right to the point, though.
Have you ever thought about being a translator?
It's part of my job. Yeah, actually.
There you go.
It's one of the reasons why I came to Japan. My degree, I majored in two things, and one of them was Japanese studies, which is, includes Japanese politics, Japanese economics, Japanese anthropology, all of the things that have to do with Japan. And my other major was Japanese language itself. So, yeah, that is part of what I have to do on a daily basis.
Oh, there you go. That's cool. All right, let's see what else we got on the little roll here. If you were to get rid of one state in the United States, which would it be and why?
That's a tough question because I'm actually not acquainted with many of the states. I can tell you which ones I don't want to get rid of.
No, it has. You have to tell me which we have to get rid of.
Okay, so then maybe we can do it by process of elimination. So Washington State is good because that's where I graduated from university and I lived there for 5 years. I love Seattle. It's like one of my favorite places in the world. Cali is good. Cali can stay. Hawaii can stay. So I'm thinking more probably like middle area.
Oh, damn.
Middle South area. I don't know, like the one that comes to mind is fuck. Like I just know if I say it, like people's feelings are gonna get hurt. And the bitch of it is too is like half of my family lives there right now, but I would get rid of Texas. And I know so many people from Texas, and it's not anything against like you guys personally, but it's just it's a lot of space that could perhaps be used for something else.
Rip Texas, boys. You're gone.
Crip made me choose, man. That's not on me. Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah, rip Texas and everybody. Yep, it is what it
Yeah,
is.
let's just build like a uber mega Disneyland that takes up all of Texas. You know, with all that space, we could have lots of fun in there. Definitely.
Yeah, so you're a fan of Disney, that's for sure.
I am obsessed with Disney, and I have been since I was a kid. It's just something that I grew up with, and I can never like let go. And if I don't go to Disney, a type of Disney, at least once a year, like I go insane.
That's the requirements, like
Yes,
for
I mean,
everything.
yeah, in Japan we have Tokyo Disney and we have Tokyo Disney Sea, so we have like two to choose from, which is nice for me. But recently, like for vacations and stuff, like going to Florida to Disney World, or going to Cali to the original Disneyland. I've been to every Disney park in the world except for the two in China.
Damn.
And yeah, it's on my bucket list to eventually go to those as well. So I mean, China's not that far from here. I just have to like set the time and make sure that I schedule things correctly because everywhere else that I've been, I'm able to communicate just fine, like one way or the other. Because you know they speak English or I speak Spanish. You know, there's a Disney in Paris and in France. There's a lot of people who speak Spanish and speak English as well. But China, I'm not very versed in the Chinese language, like either Mandarin or Cantonese, so I don't know how that's gonna work out. But I'm still gonna do it. It's
Well, you have to at this point.
yeah, yeah, it's part of the plan for sure.
Speaking of all these, Disney characters and whatnot,
Hmm.
if you had to be an animated character, who would you be and why?
Just Disney.
Oh, any in general, whether it's anime,
Oh,
Disney, anything.
okay, and we're talking animated as in not like video games, right? Like not CG animated.
Yeah, no CG, no CG.
Okay, yeah. All right, so I would be Kenshin from Rurouni Kenshin because he's my favorite. I mean, Rurouni Kenshin is my favorite anime of all time, and he's a character that I very much look up to. So
So a reformed mass murderer.
yes, I mean people change, man. People change. He has done the best that he can at this point in his life to make up for the things that he's done. And none of us are saints, you know. None of us have come this whole way doing only the things that were right. We do need to learn from our mistakes and try to do better. And he's a very extreme example of that.
Hmm.
Like realistically speaking, can you really forgive somebody who has murdered thousands of people in the name of a movement? I'm not sure. Like if it were real life, I would question it a lot more. But the emotional growth that can be seen like throughout the series of he himself and him battling those demons from the past is something that I very much respect. So even if I had to live with the turmoil of all that, I think it's still a pretty amazing thing to be able to do. So yeah, I'd still choose him. And if not him, then Sailor Mars. She's way easier to get into. Yeah.
So like, yeah, there's this one really deep character, that's murdered thousands, and the reflection that they've had on their life, and they decided to change, and then there's Sailor
Yeah.
Mars.
Yeah. Exactly. There's Sailor Mars. She can read your fortune and like shoot fireballs out of her fingers. Why not?
Yeah, there you go.
And
Who
look
needs a
fabulous
sword?
doing it as well.
Yeah, who needs a sword when you have fireballs out of your fingers?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Tell me something that's true that almost nobody agrees with you on.
Then nobody agrees with me on.
Yes.
Um, man, I can think of a lot of work related that I don't want to bring up because I don't want to be that person. So let me switch my gears to a different direction here. Something that is true that people do not agree with me that is true. I mean, the fact that my son is an angel. Like to me, he's an angel and he's above all things and he can do no wrong. But when I treat him like that, my husband is the first one to tell me, you know, that the reason why you treat him like that is why he's like so fucked up, right? So I guess I'm the only one who thinks it or who wants to believe it, I guess. Um, but I can't really think of any other like more serious things. Usually, I try to surround myself with people who not necessarily agree with me, but at least have the same type of mindset, which is open. And whenever we don't agree on something, we always debate. You know, in society nowadays, debating is seen like such like a bad thing, and people don't even want to have conversations about their opinions anymore. They just want to state their opinions as fact, and they don't bother to like look up how much truth there is behind their own opinions. And that's why we end up like so black and white. Like we need to learn to meet in the middle and have these conversations, even if we don't agree with each other.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I'd like to think that most of the people that I'm surrounded by either have a very, very open mindset or already agree with me with most things from the get-go, just because we've shared a lot of the same experiences and we've learned together um as we grow up as well. So
Yeah, pretty much the experiences you go through often form your viewpoints and opinions.
right.
What were you like in high school?
In high school I was a mess. um it's really hard to describe it in its entirety because I've never really fit in like one particular place. I like to think of myself as a very well rounded person, and because of that, I had many divisions as far as like my friends go. So I had my popular friends who I would hang out with most of the time just because they were the ones that I interacted the most. But then I had like my otaku friends, you know, the people into anime and to video games that were not part of that popular clique because usually those two things don't really go together. Um, so I had to like pick the days that I was gonna hang out with them. Like, you know, for lunchtime, just like, oh, tomorrow I'm actually gonna hang out with Stephanie and them, so I'll see you on Wednesday or something like that. So I was always trying to like rotate as much as I could to make sure that I got like the full experience. And so because of that, I don't know that there was like ever a time when I was like one thing. Like I can't say like I was a jock or I was a, you know, like the popular chick or I was this or I was that. Yeah, so I just tried to learn as much as I could. I was an honor student. I've always been the type to take academics very seriously. I was actually the president of the National Honor Society for my senior chapter in high school. Um, yeah, always those 3.9, 4.0 GPA average, uh, the kind of person to get mad because the quiz that was scheduled for today got canceled and I studied my ass off for it. Yeah,
Meanwhile,
that kind of
everybody
person, I
was
guess.
like, "Yes, fuck
Yeah, everyone else
yeah!"
was celebrating, and I'm like, no, I spent so much time studying. They better give me this quiz now while I still retain all of this information, because I don't want to have to do it all over again. Um, yeah. So I was that drag. Like, it, you know, like there's always that one person who's just like, oh, teacher, you forgot to collect the homework for today, and everybody's like, why would you tell her that? Why would you like snitch it on us like that? I was that person.
God. Oh man. Well, hey, you
Yeah.
got good grades, 3.9, 4.0,
Yeah.
president of honor society.
Yeah. That
So,
was me.
but you were still the, maintained relationships and a diverse like role set, or
Yeah.
titles, you know.
Yeah, I didn't want to limit myself. I thought, especially because I grew up in the later years going to military school. Not military school as in like I was like training to become a military member, but
Hmm.
as in like your family is military, so you have to go to school on base, and everybody that attends the school comes from a very different background because it's just people who keep moving. Like every 2 or 3 years of their lives, they're in a different place. They have to meet different people. They have to like, you know, part with friendships and make entirely new ones. And so I think in that type of community, friendships become a whole lot more valuable because they only last for so long. So you either decide not to make friends with anybody at all because you just can't handle that emotional attachment being taken away from you, or you take that as an opportunity to meet as many people as you can, as many different types of people as you can. Um, and that's what I decided to do. But all in all, in general, it was a very awkward place for me. Um, like for example, like no, I was never asked to like the dances, like prom or anything like that. Never really. So I always ended up going to those with like my friends. Like, yeah, I'm going with my friends. Um, so I don't know how that works, where you like think maybe you are popular and that you have like a lot of connections with a lot of people, but then like things like that show up and you like question your high school career. You're like, why didn't anybody ask me to dance? I don't understand. So
Did nobody like me? Come on.
yeah, I guess not. I guess deep down, like maybe I was just annoying all the people that I was like trying to reach out to. Maybe they're just like, go away, lady.
Ugh,
Uh, I
Shally
guess I'll never
again?
know. Yeah,
Oh God.
I get that a lot.
Ridiculous. Yeah, I'm sure. No, everybody's definitely happy to see you over here. Everybody's
Oh,
more
thanks.
than
I'm happy to
excited
see
for
you guys
that.
too.
Oh man. All right. Let's see. You kind of have. I'm struggling with this
Mm-hmm.
because I can't quite pinpoint this next question
Okay.
before I'm asking. But are you
All right.
more of a leader or a follower?
I am the leader type. Um, to the point where it's annoying, actually. Um, I it took me a while to get there because I didn't know that I was that type of person. I always thought that I was a follower and I wanted to um I wanted somebody to guide me through things, but then at the same time, the more that I tried to live life that way, I realized that the people who were supposed to be guiding me weren't guiding me in the directions that I wanted to be going. So because of that, I hit a point where I finally like understood that the only way that I'm gonna get to where I want to be is by following my own self because I'm the one that needs to be making those decisions for me. And so it was a process. I was not always the leader type, but especially right now, in like my career and things like that, I think that a lot of the people who are around me view me as a leader, and I try to provide as much as I can as the leader figure, even though on paper I may not be
Hmm.
leader sometimes, depending on the situation. Whatever I can do for the people around me that I know is going to facilitate their work, I will try to do if I can afford the time to do so. Some people would rather use that free time to, I don't know, fuck around on YouTube or something. But like, I'd rather use that for the benefit of uh, all of us as a whole because it is, most of the time that you're working with other people, it is a group effort and everybody needs to have a hand in it for the whole thing to work. So, yeah, now I would say I'm definitely more the leader type.
Very cool. Yeah, I was thinking, maybe she is more of the leader, but it's kind of difficult because you were president of the honor society and whatnot, so you did
Right.
did have some leadership already instilled there, but I didn't know what you considered yourself more as. That makes much more sense after you
Yeah,
say it.
and that was a nerve-wracking time for me as well because that was the first time that I had ever ran for anything at school. Because there's like the student like council, and you get like class president and all of these things. And
Hmm.
I always thought that for me that was way too much responsibility. And so I was just hoping that whoever was in that position would like take us to the place that we needed to be. Because
Hmm.
sometimes you just have to trust. Like even if I am a leader, I'm not trying to become like president of the United States. You know what I mean? Like there is a cap. But um, when it came to the National Honor Society, and my feelings towards that were very serious because I did want to keep up my academic work, and I appreciated the fact that I had been invited to become a member, because it's not something that you can just join. Even if you do have good grades, if you don't get an invitation from the society, you cannot get in. So it's something that I had already like earned, and so it felt very special, and that's why I decided that I'm already taking this so seriously. Why not just like go for that next step and try to help everybody else around me too
Take
by taking on the leadership role. So.
take that next step and take it fucking seriously, right, Shally?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. We're very fucking serious around these parts. If you guys haven't noticed yet.
Describe yourself.
Yep.
One word. Go.
Crazy. That's easy.
Loca. Easy.
It's either crazy or loud. I'm very loud. But that's just in the nature of a Puerto Rican. Any Puerto Rican can describe himself or herself as loud or very loud.
What are some? Let's just say I'm positive that you have, short-term and long-term goals
Hmm.
kind of already set out. You just seem like that type of person. What are some of your longer-term goals and achievements that you want to strive for in the future?
I want to get a house. Yeah, that's a big one. Um, because I don't know exactly when it is that we're gonna start like forming like a quote unquote real family. Right now we live in an apartment, and it's definitely not big enough for uh, anybody else. So like me and my husband and my dog are plenty of people in this room as it is. So eventually I would like to get a house. And I don't, when I was younger, I didn't think that that was like a possible thing for somebody like me. Like I grew up with my parents renting houses, renting apartments. And when my mom married my stepdad and we became a military family, we were provided with housing by the military. So it was always somebody else's house.
Mm-hmm.
Like we never owned anything of our own. So I grew up with, the type of thinking that that was probably going to be my own life as well. But recently it's it's become more possible. Like, I have an okay job. My husband has a wonderful job. We are probably not going to be able to pay for it all by ourselves, so we may need to get like some type of loan or something in the future. But it is definitely more plausible now than I ever thought it would have been when I was much younger. So the house is definitely one of
Very cool. Yeah. So growing up in a military family,
them. Hmm.
what was the biggest struggle for you?
The biggest struggle was entering the military life lifestyle, because we had to face so much change in such short time. And we're three siblings, me and my two younger brothers, and we were all at very different stages in our lives when we joined the military type of lifestyle. And for me personally, it was the struggle of going from public school to military school, making that jump. Um, when I got to, what was it, seventh grade? Was it eighth grade, seventh or eighth grade? In military school, like I, my nightmare was going to math class. Like I had no idea of what they were working on. I couldn't understand, the formulas that they were writing on the wall because I hadn't learned that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's not some. I wasn't at that level yet, and so I literally cried every day, uh, at, on the bus while going to school because being so serious with my academics, that was like a super huge blow to me. The fact that now I was going to school and I wasn't like in a good academic standing anymore because I lacked all of that knowledge. And so for me, it's just like everything turned upside down because of that. And I had to like ask for outside help. Like I had to be tutored and try to catch up somehow out of my own effort, and then somehow be able to reach the same level as everybody else. And eventually I got there. It took a lot of effort and a lot of um, running around, after hours, extracurricular here and there. But I was able to get there thankfully and continue with what I wanted out of my academics, which has always been like,
Important.
yeah, to me.
Seriously
As a
important.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So while I struggled with that side of things, my middle brother, he wasn't nearly as fluent in English as I was at the time because this is all in Puerto Rico. And in Puerto Rico, our first language is Spanish. We do learn English in school since we are little, like from elementary school. But that doesn't necessarily guarantee that the people who are taking those lessons are learning anything at all. Sometimes it's just for the grades. Like, okay, I'll remember bird and green and then write that on the vocabulary sheet and I'll pass. And so my brother was not up to par on his English, and so that's the area where he struggled. Like he had to start from that point, like first understanding what is being said to him, and then work on the academic side of things. So his grades were not the best, but that was also not entirely all his fault because he was struggling to just understand the language. And then the youngest one, he was really, really young when we first started. And so he started working backwards. Like he forgot all of his Spanish and started just absorbing all of the English. So he was doing the best out of like all of us. And yeah, he got a lot of help during that time. So he was also doing well in school. So he got out the best. Like he was just at that right time to take in all of that change without noticing that it was an actual change because he was too young to realize exactly what was happening. So
there wasn't an adaptation period so much because it was literally him. He was learning from the start, from the get-go.
Exactly.
Very cool. Can you believe it's already been an hour?
No. I mean, this happens when you stream though. Sometimes you're planning to stream for just like 2 hours, and the next time you check the clock, you're just like, oh well, I guess it's my 8th hour now. Might as well go for 10, and
right.
It happens. Yeah.
I've been on stream for 7 hours. This is an average for me, I would say.
Oh my god, 7 hours. That is quite a long time. And I'm sorry if it's becoming like I'm just like dragging it on for you.
No, you're not dragging it on at all, Shally. We've been waiting for this all week. What are you talking about?
I'm glad to be here, guys. I'm glad.
All right. So we've had a couple questions about certain things in chat, and we're going to offer chat to post a couple more.
Okay.
Just, hey, if you want to hear it, say it in chat, figure things out, and I'll ask it if it's appropriate. Speaking of appropriate, where is JoJo and how has he been?
About that one. I don't know. I don't know. I've been trying to get the people in charge to give an official response on the matter, and apparently things are not set in stone, and therefore that's why they cannot give an official statement on the matter. But I haven't personally seen JoJo for a really, really long time. Is pretty much all I can say. I mean, I'm sure he's fine of health. Like nothing happened to him. He didn't lose a leg. He wasn't in an accident, as far as I know. So he's doing just fine. And if you dig deep enough, you can find him on Twitter and stuff like that too. Like he's out there. But yeah, as far as like the videos and stuff, I honest to God don't know if he's coming back or not.
So would you say JoJo is in the Matrix? Confirmed?
Confirmed, yeah. I guess.
You heard it here
aren't
first.
we all in the Matrix?
We heard it. We heard it here first, boys. Matrix, JoJo, confirmed. When do you stream?
Sporadically. That's one of the biggest setbacks of my channel. Like, it is so sporadic. I don't even have affiliate yet. Like, I've been trying to get affiliate just so that I can have an emote, because that would be fun. But I stream so, like, crazily that it's, like, Twitch doesn't counted towards like the affiliate program, and I'm having some problems with that because I think they're not counting a couple of days that should have been counted towards that goal. So I'm gonna have to probably like send like an email to customer support and be like, "Yo, is this like thing bugged?" Because I mean, I filled the requirement that you specify on the website. So unless I'm like not understanding what it is that you want from me, what is going on? But I would like to be more consistent in my streaming. I just need to get into a rhythm. And right now, the way things are, it's very hard to keep a steady rhythm with anything, like in my personal life, really. And also, I don't have the equipment to like do like proper streaming. So right now, when I do stream, I stream straight from my PS4, which is, it's not bad because everything is like built into it,
Mm-hmm.
and the quality is actually not that horrible. But when I stream from my computer, trying to use OBS or something like that, it looks like shit and it sounds like shit and everything is just shit. So, if I were to try to do anything more seriously, I would have to get the proper equipment first. Yeah. So, which is one of the reasons why I just do it whenever I want and whenever I feel like it. It's mostly to motivate myself to play games, because when you work in the game industry, it's very hard sometimes after you deal with games like all day long to come home and be like, finally, I can play the game that I want. Sometimes you're just like exhausted, like your mind cannot take it. And even if you do play the game that you want to play, you're not really enjoying the experience so much because you're already so like tired out. So streaming the games that I want to play motivates me to play that game more. And at the same time, I don't feel like I'm alone doing it because I have everybody in chat talking to me as well. So it's good for me, and I should do it more often. It's just whether I actually can or cannot. That's the
Right.
problem.
Because I mean, just the other day, with the extended maintenance and whatnot, you
Oh
ended up
yeah,
getting home late, and then you have your husband and your son, and I mean, what are you the cook?
no, I'm not actually. My husband is.
Baller. You got a good life.
Yeah, which is I am so appreciative of that. He gets off work much earlier than I do most of the time. And so by the time that I come home, he always tries to have dinner already ready or already going for me. And he's excellent at it. Like he's such a good cook. Like everything he cooks is extremely delicious. So I always look forward to whatever he's planning for that day because he also tries to cook something different like every day. So I really lucked out with that as well. Like he's a really good guy, you guys. And for the last time, it's not the soul. I don't know why you guys have it in your mind that like it's the soul from the videos, but it's not. The soul is cool. I mean, we have a very good work relationship, but it's not like that. Okay, so let's clear that the air right now.
Boom. Definitely not docile.
Yeah, definitely not it.
Shout out to Shally's husband. Maybe he one day will be on Iron Chef.
Yeah, maybe that would be good. Because don't you get like prize money for that? That'd be awesome,
I mean, I would assume so. It's Iron Chef, right?
right? Yeah. Let's see what happens. Maybe we can convince him.
Kuma says Dussel wouldn't know how to tame a girl like you.
Ah,
Oh snap!
yeah. I understand. You'd be surprised with that's all. I always say this, but people don't believe me because they only believe what they're able to see, which is in the videos. He looks very shy and he looks very reserved, but it's more so the pressure of being in front of the camera and having to deliver all of this information, and not only deliver it, but also be as accurate with it as possible. So he gets a little bit psyched out when we do the videos, and that's why he looks to be like the quiet, shy type. But whenever we're not in the studio, we're just having a conversation. Dude is savage. Like he will burn everyone and anyone that is in his way. He's got the most like wicked comebacks, and like I bust a gut sometimes, like just listening to him talk because it's hilarious. So it makes me sad that that doesn't portray through the videos that we make together. But I don't know. hopefully someday, I guess.
Well, he'll build his confidence up. And guys, yeah, I know you want to know about FFBE, but this is not the time to ask for it. I'm sorry, guys.
No, guys, sorry. I mean, I hope that you understand. I don't want to get in trouble or get anybody in trouble by discussing things that I shouldn't be. Like, this is not work time for me right now. I'm doing this like during my own private time, and so I don't like mixing the two and two together. I like to keep them separate, at least for like things that are publicly out there, just so that there is no mistake that those two things are separate. Like if I come in here and I try to speak for Rumi or for FFBE and I say the wrong thing, when I go back to the office on Monday, I will be crucified. So I'd rather not lose my job, if you guys don't mind, and just chill for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7-star confirmed next week. Just kidding, guys.
Oh, no. It actually came out yesterday, so if you don't have a 7-star already, you're late.
Yep, there we go.
You're late.
Anyway, Shally, it has been a pleasure with having you here. You were wonderful. Again, thank you so much for coming in. And it's been a blast.
It's been really fun talking to you guys, all of you, and your wonderful questions. Some very interesting questions that I had never really thought about, like, ever in my entire life. Like that state one, that's gonna come back to get me, right? Like I'm gonna get all these people on Twitter being like, Shelly hates Texas, unfollow. It's like, no, it's not like that. I just have to choose one, and that's the one I went with.
And you just chose one of the largest ones. Wow.
Please don't be offended. I'm just saying we could use all that space for something else. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I mean, is the Alamo really that great? No. Just kidding. I'm kidding. Please, for the love of God, do not take offense.
Roasted.
We're just having a good time. That's all.
Roasted, guys. All right, everybody. Say goodbye to Shally. Shally, dilly dally. Thank you again.
It was lovely hanging out on your channel and, doing the whole interview thing. I've never really done this sort of thing before, so good times, man. Good
times. And make sure to follow her on Twitter, Shalymonster, and get her to start streaming, boys. Follow her on Twitch, Shalymonster. Make her an affiliate.
You might get a notification like once every 2 months that I'm on.
There you go. There you go. All right, Shally. Thank you again.
Well, thank you for having me, and you guys also make sure to follow Crib and FF's interviews for, more cool people to come in the future. I know he had Ragnar Zukin very, very recently on his channel as well. So if you're into it because of the FFB community, there might be some more people that are related to that in the future. I don't know. That's up to him, but make sure you follow. Leave him all kinds of nice comments if you can. That would be very, very nice to do. So.
Thank you, Shally. All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Boom, guys.